Is okay. So hello everyone. Today's my topic is about Aristotelian concept of tragedy with reference of Macbeth. It is going to be an analysis of Shakespeare's play Macbeth with the reference of Poetics. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Bhargav Makwana, and I am studying in MA Sem 1, batch number no year 2024. So let's get to the topic. Today's topic will be Aristotle's concept of tragedy, the elements of tragedy, plot development in Macbeth. Then we will study Macbeth as a self-destructive trait. Then we will explore reversal of fate. Then we will get a view at a sudden awareness. And lastly, we will discuss emotional awakening or catharsis. So firstly, Aristotle's concept of a tragedy. So Aristotle defines tragedy as an imitation of a series complete and meaningful actions that arouse the feeling of fear and pity in the audience, leading to catharsis, which can be called emotional cleaning. So first is hamartia, a tragic flaw or error in judgment that leads to the hero's downfall. Second is peripeteia, a reversal of a fortune, often from good or bad. Third is anagnorisis, a moment of recognition or realization where the hero becomes aware of truth about their situation. And the fourth one is catharsis, the purging of emotions, which means fear and pity in the audience after the tragic event unfolds. So there are basically six elements in the tragedy. First is a plot, which is the sequence of event and the structure of the narrative. Second is a character. The individuals are, especially the protagonist, are the part of any literary work that can be called character. The next one is the thought. The themes, ideas, and moral dilemmas explored in the play can be called thought. The diction. The choice of words, style, dialogue, and language used by the character can be called diction. Then there is a melody. The musical element, though less prevalent in Shakespeare's Macbeth, is often associated with the rhythm of language. And lastly, we will explore spectacle, the visual elements, including staging, costumes, and dramatic efforts, can be include in spectacle. Then we are going to explore the plot of Macbeth. So there is a unity of action, complexity of plot, and catastrophe. So in unity of action, Macbeth follows a unfed and a linear plot structure where each action directly leads to the next. The events are casually linked, and Macbeth's ambition drives the action forward. Complexity of plot. The plot of Macbeth is marked by a reversal of fortune, peripeteia, and recognition. For example, when Macbeth believes that he is invincible, is reversed when he realizes that the witch's words have misled him. Then catastrophe, Macbeth's death represents the tragic resolution. His death restores order to Scotland and the tyrannical rule, fulfilling the typical tragic ending. Macbeth's tragic flow, Hamartia. So Macbeth's tragic flow. Ambition is Macbeth's central tragic figure. He is driven by an overwhelming desire for power and structure, which leads him to murder king. His ambition blinds him to the moral consequences of his actions and distorts his sense of right and wrong. There is an evidence of Hamartia in Macbeth. Macbeth is internal struggle with his consciousness expressed in soliloquies reveals his awareness of the wrongness of his action. He justifies his action by telling himself that ambition is the only path to power, even as he becomes consumed by guilt and paranoia. Result: Macbeth's ambition leads him to down a path of violence, deceit, and eventual destruction. His unchecked desire for power and ultimately causes his downfall. Reversal of fortune or peripeteia. So Macbeth's reversal, Macbeth raises power, intentionally a noble warrior, is followed by his own fall into tyranny and madness. The play's peripeteia occurs when Macbeth falls, sense of security is shattered. So we can get some example in from Macbeth. After the murdering king, Macbeth crowded king, but his insecurity leads him to murder Banquo in an attempt to secure his throne. Despite the witch's prophecy promising his invincibility, Macbeth's downfall begins when he faces the forces that oppose him and ultimately learns that he has been misled. So, what is the significance of a reversal of a fortune in Macbeth? The reversal of a fortune highlights the theme of fate versus free will. Macbeth's tragic flow, ambition combined with the witch's prophecy leads to situation where he is doomed to fall. Recognition or revelation. So there are four parts of it or the stages of revelation. First is a moment of recognition. Second is a revelation. Third is Macbeth's realization, and that's all. So moment of recognition, Macbeth anagnorisis or revelation is occurred during the final battle when he realizes that he has been decided are revealed to be double-edged. For example, Macbeth believes that he is invulnerable because no man born of a woman shall kill Macbeth, but it is ultimately killed by Macduff, who was born of woman via caesarean section. Macbeth's realization, as he faces death, Macbeth realizes his fate was sealed from the start, and his ambition actions have leads lead him to this inventionable conclusion. And there is finally a quote: I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Then there is a catharsis, the effect on the audience, fear and pity and catharsis. So, in fear, the audience fears the consequences of unchecked ambitions, as seen in Macbeth's gradual descent from a noble warrior to tyrant. Pity. The audience pities Macbeth as he struggles with his consequences, but ultimately become a victim of his own actions. Then catharsis, the tragic downfall of Macbeth puts the audience to this emotion, the sense of inevitable tragedy, combined with Macbeth's moment of recognition, serves to cleanse the audience emotions. There is also one quote: I am in a blood stabbed in so far that should I have weighed no more, returning where as tedious as gore. Macbeth expressing his inversible nature of his fate. And finally, the conclusion: Macbeth follows the Aristotelian idea of tragedy. His ambition can be called the flaw of tragedy, or Hamartia, leads to his downfall and realization. And we can see its catharsis via the audience feels pity and fear of Macbeth, leading to emotional release and reflection on the ambition's dangers. And we can see its legacy is Macbeth remains one of the Shakespeare's best tragedy, showing how Aristotle's ideas still apply today. There are some resources which I have taken the information from, and that's all. I'm grateful for your engagement. Sir, hmm,
How does Macbeth's final realization shows the effect of his ambitions?
how does Macbeth's final realization show the effect of ambition and his refusal to give reveal about him? So we can see that he was well aware that he has some ambitions to follow, but still he know that from the beginning that he is not going to do something good by murdering king, but still he has a desire to be king. So that can be called the answer of it.
So, Bhargav, my question to you is that how does Hamartia lead to peripeteia, and what role does anagnorisis play in the ultimate catharsis of tragedy?
So, in peripeteia, we can say that is a flaw of a tragedy, which can be said by like Macbeth was firstly know that he was doing something bad, but his actions that were the flaw and contains his ambition, which can be leads to his ultimate tragedy that aroused the emotion of pity and fear in audience as well.